AI news everywhere, every week. Let's just discuss it, and let's do it right now.
Yes, AI is everywhere.
Yeah.
And in your underwear. No, I'm just kidding. I know
all right.
I
should have had my bleep ready.
It's going to be one of those days.
Yeah. You know what? Every week it seems like, okay, yeah, there's some new information. There's new stuff going on. Gemini 2.5 Pro is rolling out to people. I didn't have this morning. I had it this afternoon. It is better than the previous version. Obviously, it's better than the preview version because it now thinks in real time, not thinks about from 6 months ago backwards. Mid-Journey also, we can get into that in a little bit. There's not as much to get into as far as I'm concerned because I don't believe they have any audio. I do believe, however, that they make freaking amazing videos. But again, I've only seen examples of people who know how to do the prompts really well. And that's another thing we can get into is we got more information about how VO3 works.
Or doesn't work.
And when you're talking about Google's VO3 and you're talking to Gemini, you actually have to say VEO3 because it doesn't. It thinks you're saying BO3 or something. But in all fairness, that's probably the fault of Gboard. In reality, you may not have this issue if you're with Apple. No, you will. They actually have worse voice recognition.
Yes.
Yes. So never mind. You're going to have that issue one way or the other. There was some other AI stuff that's happened since we were last on YouTube. But I can't remember for the life of me what it is. You remember? I'm trying to point at you.
We were discussing the situation with the whole Google prompts is really, I think, what you're talking about, and how you shared an article about the on the app, how they added that search feature or something. I'd have to look at you shared the article with me, and I know we talked about it, but sorry guys, as you can tell, it's one of those weeks. So look, I'm Robert from Nashville. This is Lionel from Toronto.
Ourselves. That's correct. You see,
this is United We Stand.
You see,
divided we try to podcast.
Established 1834, but that was an incorporated city in 1834. To be clear, what is now the city of Toronto was actually first. I was inhabited, I guess you can say, way back in, I want to say 17 something. Actually, could have been 16 something, to be honest with you. But I think it was 17 something. I don't even know my own history, but that's another story. Okay, so back on topic.
Yeah, but we forgot to say that, if you like this content or you just feel sorry for us, hit the like, hit the subscribe if you just want to be entertained, because that's what we do. We're just here to entertain.
Just give us a little love. Anyways. Right.
So you shared about how ChatGPT Google reportedly cribbed OpenAI's homework to boost Gemini's AI game. That's what you shared. That's what I was talking about. So I guess Google is trying to steal ChatGPT's homework.
No, not trying. I didn't. I kind of perused the article. And this is because what is when you go into it, you'll see that they mention Bard all the time. So when Google was like, we got to get in there, ChatGPT was still an infant compared to today. I mean, it was barely walking, but it was the king dog, right? There was nobody else at that time that could do anything close to what ChatGPT was doing. But it was still garbage by today's standards, but amazing by any previous chat bots of yore. But and what is yore, by the way? Anyways, so by mentioning Bard, that's telling me what they're actually talking about is that when Google was still basically experimenting. They were like, let's take a look at this one over here.
Yeah.
And took a little bit of the open source stuff, by the way. The code that's available. It's not like they walked in and they had somebody sneak in and steal their stuff. I think
Right.
the issue is that when a company makes it sound like if my level's too high, I'm peaking over here. The when they make it sound like they're the goody two shoes and they do everything right, and whoever thinks that about Google, I don't know, but then you find out, yeah, well, when they got started, that's what they did. Yes, it's true. Some other companies from overseas, we won't mention which ones, have done the exact same thing with ChatGPT and possibly a little bit with Gemini as well, as we discussed weeks ago. But it kind of, guess it comes to as a shock. I don't know why, to some people that they did the exact same thing when they got started. Gemini, on the other hand, right now, though, has completely evolved completely differently from ChatGPT.
Yes, they've definitely taken two different paths. Well,
Yes.
I wouldn't say two different paths. They're on the same path, but I think at different
Parallel
rates
paths,
and different
and
errors.
every now
it's-
and again, there's a little pathway in between them. But Gemini kind of sort of stumbles along the path in a lot of ways. Now, don't get me wrong, their deep thinking versions are phenomenal. But your everyday stuff, like when you say, hey, you know whom, and you're trying to talk to who, Gemini, I could say that part, and you ask it a simple question, like, what was the name of that movie with Mel Gibson, where he was a cop and he had the black guy as a partner, and the black guy said the line, "I'm too old for this stuff." Anybody knows that that's Lethal Weapon, right? But somehow Gemini will probably mention a movie that Mel Gibson wasn't even in. And I'm not joking. It will do that. Oh, you're probably thinking of the movie with Robert Redford. No, I'm not. And I don't know why. Like last week, if you saw last week, when our guest demonstrated, was that was last
Kenny.
week, right? Yeah.
Kenny, yeah.
Or no, was that you demonstrating or him demonstrating?
Well,
think it
I
was him.
demonstrated Chat GPT, and
Oh,
you
yes,
tried
right.
to demonstrate,
Yeah.
how Gemini fails at what Chat GPT
and
excels
it
at.
failed before it even failed.
Right.
It actually stopped and said, "Hey, there's something went wrong. Try again." It didn't even give it a chance to actually fail with the answer.
Right.
So it was like I felt like I was on stage trying to demonstrate Windows 98 or something, but
Or iPhone.
or iPhone. Yeah. Either way, there's always one of them going badly, or in some cases, one of our podcasts.
Like this one.
Last week. 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago.
Well, in all fairness,
differences.
I've seen plenty of Android IOs or Google IOs where demonstrations have gone awry. So
Almost every one.
anytime you try, well, no, this last one they did pretty good. It was actually pretty smooth.
Yeah.
But anytime you try to do live demos with live functionality in what is a lot of times still in beta, things are just not going to work right sometimes.
In some cases, alpha. If you're talking about I/O, for instance.
Yeah.
But that's why Google, in most years, when they do I/O and they want to talk about new features that will happen eventually, and traditionally Google I/O would introduce features that we would either never see or not see for 3, 4, or 5 years. Like, remember that year, I think it was about 6 years ago, maybe 7, where they talked about, oh, you're going to be able to erase the fence in front of your subject of your picture, get rid of a tree beside him because it looks bad next to your family. And we're like, yeah, 3 years later, that never happened. But now, not only is it on a Pixel, it's on Samsungs, it's on iPhones. I mean, it's not the same app with iPhone. Samsung can use both Google's version of it and their own version of it. So yeah, it's a thing. But they did when they demonstrated that, they did a separate video that they heavily edited many times until they got it right. And they did that with a lot of features.
Yeah.
A couple of times they didn't, and they stumbled a little bit with it. Apple actually did one thing that a lot of people immediately go, well, why in the hell? I mean, we used to love watching, even if you didn't like Apple products, you loved the enthusiasm of the sheeple when they would announce some new feature or product live in the theater. But this year, it's just Tim Cook standing in front of a blue screen. He can't even stand in front of the window of the building he works in. He's a blue screen of the window. Because remember last year he stood on the roof.
Did he stand on the roof? I don't remember.
No, it was a blue screen, but that's not the point.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
This year, the blue screen wasn't a blue screen of the roof. This year, they just AI'd a racetrack on the roof. or not AI. They probably made it.
Yeah, I didn't watch the Apple thing. So
I always watch it because I don't want to have my ear to the ground. No, that's not true. I just want to know what to make fun of when we do the next podcast. And there was a lot this time, but we covered that last week. We won't go there.
But they didn't have, I wish they would have had that video out that Google did trolling hard on the iPhone. That was
I haven't seen a Samsung one yet. I can't wait because they do a better job.
Oh man!
That. Except no wait, the one with the Pixel phone and the Apple phone, the iPhone, where they're talking like they're friends. And one thing I love about it is that the Pixel phone, of course, sounds very natural, and the iPhone always sounds very, very robotic because I'm Siri.
And it's funny how it went.
It's hilarious.
You know how I had live transcription. And he's like, I know, weird, right? And it's like, yeah, what I had 5 years ago. It's like, yeah, I know. Isn't that weird? It's like, that was.
And the other thing it mentioned, it said, oh yeah, and I had that 7 years ago. Yeah, that's weird, right? What a coincidence.
What a coincidence. That was hilarious. That was so good by Google. That was probably one of the best ones they've done.
That's literally like one of only a couple of advertisements or promotions that they've ever run, and they've done it for a while that I thought was really good. And I know where they get that from. They did steal the idea. Just to be clear, do you remember Mac and PC?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Which are two humans. If you guys are young and you've never seen it, you got to Google that. One guy is two humans. One is he's basically introduced himself as hi, I'm Mac. The other one says hi, I'm PC, and they have these conversations. And the Mac always wins the conversation because of the ease of use, and the PC is always having problems, and so on and so on. It's really fun. Also, the Mac was younger and hip, and the PC was like an old guy in a suit all the time, trying to pretend he was younger. And the fact of the matter is it was brilliant marketing, but it was also when Steve Jobs was alive. No offense to Tim Cook, you're no Steve Jobs.
No,
I'm sorry.
No, there's only one Steve Jobs. Yeah, he will not be replicated.
Whether you like an iPhone or not, love it, hate it, think it's great, think it's garbage. The one thing that they've always done is they make solid hardware and amazing advertising. At least that's used to be true. Google was always terrible at advertising.
I don't know why I've been seeing a lot of Steve Jobs like old videos.
Yeah, me too lately. I mean, did he die?
Yeah, but
anniversaries of his passing or something.
Yeah, I don't know. But one of the things that they had an interview on where he was talking, and they were talking about, this stealing that, and this person stealing that, and
Yeah.
and forgive me if I paraphrase this wrong because I'm sure I'm going to screw it up. But he basically said that a good artist like borrows somebody else's ideas, and an exceptional artist steals them. And he says we unapologetically steal people's ideas and make it our own.
Yeah. And in the same breath, he basically said he'll go after anybody that steals from him.
Right. Yeah.
He'll sue anybody. But he was honest about it,
He was honest. And what do they say? That imitation is the highest form of flattery? And
yeah. That's right.
Look, the Model T came out, and now we have all these different car manufacturers on four wheels. Ford could say, "Hey, everybody copied me."
Well,
but
now, hang on one second.
That's
a terrible example. The Model
no,
T
it's not. That was the biggest. What are you doing? Did I scare him away?
What
did I scare you away?
What the hell was that?
Oh, you took yourself off stream because
I didn't. My hands are still here. You see what we're talking about with the stupid glitching? Welcome to Windows 98 Reveal. We're now going to demonstrate how we don't lose the camera. All right,
yeah, that was weird. Anyways, but I'm just saying that I don't really have a problem with people taking other people's ideas and then taking that foundation and creating something of their own. Which is, again, you have Android is open source, and then you have Google putting their spin on it. You have Samsung putting their spin on it. You have OnePlus putting their spin on it. You have all these manufacturers taking Android and making it their own.
Right.
And so that's fine. I mean, because you can take a core foundation and fundamental and tweak it to be your own iteration of that and make it better and sometimes make it worse, so, and that's totally fine.
Speaking of making it worse, have you seen any video of someone demonstrating the beta version of whatever the hell they're calling that liquid something iPhone mumbo jumbo?
No.
Whatever it's called. I was going to say liquid paper. No. The whiteout. Anyways, a guy was demonstrating, and he demonstrated the settings. The quick settings panel, which Android and iOS are starting to look very similar in their quick settings panels of late, as they're both trying to offer a little more functionality and quicker access to things, right?
Right.
However, he pointed out that Apple has decided to go with less accessibility, form over function. Whereas Google is like going, we want to give you better form, but we want to make sure we offer as much function in that as possible. So with Android 16, once they have the material something expressive, stupid name, yes.
Material, it's still Material 3, but expressive or whatever.
Expressive, yes. Okay. So we're on Material 3. See, I don't remember what Material
I'm pretty
is.
sure. Yeah.
Remember when it was Material U? Oh my God, that was even stupider name. Material who? Anyway, so he had the two phones side by side, one with the Material Expressive, and the iPhone with the whatever version it is with the liquid something or other.
Liquid slop.
Clear paste or whatever the hell it's called. Anyways, well, that's what it actually looks like. So here's the thing. And now don't get me wrong. If you choose the right backgrounds, the right wallpapers, use darker themes for your app icons and stuff like that, it's probably not so much of an issue. But for a lot of people, they want to use this new functionality to get all of this clear mumbo jumbo that they're bragging about in the first place, right? So you open your quick settings panel, and every single thing underneath it is visible. So now you can see all of the text and icons underneath the text and icons. Oh my God, it's horrid. What were
Well,
they thinking?
I sent you. Remember, I sent you that picture when I saw that picture.
Well, that was a
text-
blurry picture compared to the video I saw.
Oh, I
Now
know, but I'm just saying. But you can
Yeah.
see, like this is like I don't even know what I'm looking at.
Yeah, that's why because I didn't know it either. But now I'm explaining what I saw in the video, so that makes sense. Now I remember the picture. So yeah, it's absolutely horrid, and it's like I know I like to rag on them, but I've always said this: if you're happy with the device you have, it's the right choice for you. Enjoy it, embrace it, whatever. Competition is the best thing that we can have. Not having Apple out there, Android's just going to fall apart, and I'm not joking. But why would they screw up this bad? It's horrible.
Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty bad.
Yeah. And by the way, I don't mean horrible like iOS 7 or 8 or whichever one it was that went into the flat look. When it looks like a child's toy now. And
what iOS version is all this coming out in? What's the version number?
18, 19. I lose track. Oh no, wait, sorry. This is going to be iOS 26. I forgot the uniform names. So everything is going to be iOS 26, iPad OS 26, Mac OS 26.
So they're going from 18 to 26.
The year. But like when you buy a new car, like if I bought a new car today, it wouldn't be a 25, it would be a 26. Right. So that's what they're doing it like when you buy a car, the year before it's actually is that's the year the car is. So my 2018 Elantra, for instance, was originally on the market in 2017.
Right.
So
I'm just wondering if this little iPhone mini I have will get that. It's
you
old.
have an iPhone mini?
Yeah, remember I told
just
you
look
that.
down. Is it actually in front of you?
No, it's over here.
Wait, hold that sucker up. Does it actually have what version is it?
Well, see, that's what I was asking about the OS version.
Which iPhone is it?
This is a 12 mini.
It's a 12? I think it'll get it. They usually update their phones at least 4 years past, if not 5. Maybe 6 even in some cases. Mind you, it is only a mini.
Because it's got 18.5 on it.
Oh, then it'll probably get it. Because
this just
update
updated.
is the next one.
So they're going from 18.5. That's what I'm saying. They're going from 18.5 to 26.
Technically, it would be 19, but there isn't going to be a 19. So.
Right. Okay.
1 second.
So I'll be curious.
Let's ask this. Wait, what is it? It is what's the exact model of the phone?
12 mini.
iPhone 12 mini. Okay. Is the iPhone 12 mini slated to get iOS 26?
Yes, Ferdy. The iPhone 12 mini is indeed slated to get iOS 26. Apple has confirmed that iPhones released in 2019 or later, including all models of the iPhone 12 series, will be compatible with the new operating system.
Okay.
Does that mean my crappy old iPad won't get it?
You're right to think about that, Ferdy. Not all older iPads will get iPad OS 26. Based on the information I have, the only iPad model that supported iPad OS 18, but will not be compatible with iPad OS 26, is the iPad, 7th generation. Most iPads from the 8th generation and later, along with many iPad Air.
Mine's a 5th generation.
Yeah,
so that's way out.
This is a 9th gen iPad, and it's at 18.5 as well. So
yeah, I have a
assume this will
5th
get it
gen, so I have zero shot. I'm not going to be able to check it out at all. And with that said, since it's going to change that bad, that iPad's just going to go like done. I'm done with it then.
Because I just thought about that when we were talking about it. I'm like, I wonder. So that means I'll get to actually, when it comes out, I'll be able to get to show our viewers.
That is correct.
How good it is.
Yeah, I can't, however, because like I said, my iPad's too old. And I say this, once any device I own, and I keep them all, by the way, They just go into a drawer as dinosaur parts. Because once they're not updatable anymore, I don't give a rat's patootie about them anymore. I don't care if it's not even that old. If it's not updatable, I don't want it. And
Well, yeah.
it's not going to get it, so I don't care. It still gets updates, but it's not going to get that update.
Yeah.
Like it got the most like it's sitting in a drawer. If I plug it in now, it will get 18. And that's like, really, I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
But it won't get 26. So I'm done with it. I'm gonna basically throw it in the garbage now.
When is 26 coming out? When is it supposed to actually be publicly, widely released?
I do believe they're a little up in the air. I think they're going to try to do it early this year because of Google jumping the gun and saying we're putting our shit out early. So I think they might try to do it before the new iPhones in September. I think this is not something I'm trying to pretend I know as a fact.
Yeah. Well, I'll pay attention to it, and once it becomes available, then we'll definitely be talking about it. And
I think one of the things we're going to talk about is how great Siri has become, and how much better their AI is compared to.
Yeah, I guess I can test that too.
I can't say it with a straight face.
Yeah.
No. No. Absolutely not. They're still gonna have problems. They're not even advertising that stuff anymore. They're not even talking about it. They're just talking about the look now. They don't care one way or the other about the other stuff. So they're just hoping everyone's gonna forget about it. And unfortunately, if you have fleece, you probably don't care. So for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, fleece is what sheep grow on their body.
Yes. Well, I'll be curious to see when it comes out, though. I didn't even think about the fact that I have these and that they would get that update. So I'm actually really curious now to see what it's going to look like in hand. So that'll be interesting.
Terrible segue. As we go back into proper AI talk.
Yeah,
I did mention Midjourney. Let me. Do you have any experience with Midjourney at all?
Yes, I do. I actually used to use Midjourney a lot for image generation before they did. They didn't really have. I mean, you might have been able to, but I didn't. I haven't used it in some time because I stopped paying for it way back when.
Okay, they have just launched a new version. I think it's version 7 or something like that. And they're talking about, okay, it's available for everybody now. So it seems that this past week has been a lot of new versions of AI models for different things, video generations, LLMs, and so on. In this particular case, they again, I don't think they do audio with their video generations, but they do actually do really good video generations. Like,
yeah, here, let me show you this here. I pulled this up. Okay. So this is just the homepage showing some of their video stuff, and it's got like cool cartoons. It's got real people. Like these look really legit, like real pictures. But this is all AI generated.
I don't know if it's on that page, but there is a page where you can actually click into individual pictures or videos to see what they look like.
Oh yeah, I can. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now you see. There's the guy in the middle. I can see the head is just not moving quite right. So there's an unnaturalness about it. Also, the weird hand thing.
Yeah,
her hand is in the wrong place because she's moved back. Now, why is the hand still
there?
But if you take away the hand part with that still look real. When you get into this animation thing, I'm pointing. I want people to look at that, not me. But that. Like that looks like something that you would take your kid to see at the theater.
Yes.
There are people. Well, I don't even know what to say. That just looks really. Hey, check out that steampunk one on the right. At least I think that looks like steampunk.
That there?
Yeah. Oh, it's a little choppy there, eh?
Yeah, it's a little choppy, probably because it's maybe higher definition or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it might be.
It is kind of steampunkish.
Yeah, it's like a steampunk heart or something.
Here's
It looks
another
good.
one though that's just like one person, and again, movements look pretty good. Face looks pretty good.
The hair bouncing. It's a
Yeah.
little stiff as it bounces, but it looks very, very real. Now, if they could put the natural movements that VO3 does, wow. Because VO3 is hit and miss with how natural it can look. I've seen
Yeah.
some where they look like they're animated character or generated characters, but look really good, like top end video game good, maybe better.
Yeah,
And other
see,
ones
this
where
right
they
here,
look
though, like
where they
the,
look absolutely real.
the rims look weird the way they're turning.
Well, yeah, because if the car's going really slow, you're going to see that look different. If the car's going faster in that slow motion, you're not going to see that anyways. It almost looks like they're going in the opposite direction.
Yeah, but some of these are really good. I mean, it's getting
Yeah, we can point out the flaw. Okay, wait, the dancing chick on the bottom left. Oh, I had the feeling that was going to be too high a frame rate. I was right. Oh, it's playing now. Okay. See, now I wouldn't know if you just put that on, I would think that they hired some model to do this dance.
I don't know. Her hand right here is weird.
I wouldn't
Right
be
there.
looking at her. Yeah, but I wouldn't be looking at her hand. If you just put that on and didn't tell me anything, I
Yeah.
would make the assumption. The only thing to me that would give it away would be how fast the background moves over, because the camera's panning, or not panning, sorry, the camera is dolly moving backwards with a slight dolly zoom out, but only slight, which should make the background change in how far it's in or out. It's not doing that, and that to me is the giveaway. But you have to understand filmmaking for that to some extent, at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, But other than that, the quality, chef's kiss, fantastic. And it's going to get better, obviously. But
For sure.
let's show them the rare example of VO3 working right when you give it a prompt and then your buddy says, hold my beer, and then put it together. I did, just to put this into perspective, I decided I wanted to do a joke thing for VO3 and just see if it would get it right, because it got so many wrong. And I try every day 2 or 3 times.
Yeah,
And
he does.
I asked it about Noah calling customer support because his Wi-Fi wasn't working. And I sent it to Robert, and about 5 minutes later, Robert sent me another video back, and you can see this.
So we stitched them together, and yeah, it's pretty funny.
Hello, yes, is this Noah's Ark customer service? I seem to be having a bit of an issue with the Wi-Fi.
Okay, Noah. I know things are hectic, but have you tried rebooting the Wi-Fi router on the Ark?
And yes, I know that's the version you didn't like, but that's what I had access to. So
Well, no, that's fine. We'll just explain simply that weird matrixy stuff he added in himself, and they were edited together with a third-party software, obviously.
yeah,
But,
it was just meant to be like a digital transition from old to new, and of course, Matrix obviously is classic. So I like it. He didn't. He made his own where it didn't have any, but that's what I had access to.
Yeah. I also made mine in CinemaScope, which is not true, of course, because CinemaScope is an actual format.
CinemaScope.
But nonetheless, it's pretty cool because it did a good job. It did exactly what I told it to do, and I'm guessing yours did exactly what you asked it to do as well.
Oh yeah. It was.
I mean, like right to the guy, Noah being like, "Oh God, I can't believe I forgot to restart."
Yep. And actually, too, if you notice, I don't know if you paid attention. I could play it again if you want. Is the Noah's Ark shows up on his monitor, like he's actually watching.
No, I see that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So
I noticed that immediately the first time I watched it. I was like, "Oh my God, that's just too cool."
Yeah.
I love the way we say, "Is this Noah's our customers?" Like, I mean,
Yeah. Hey, Noah,
Excuse
I
me.
know things are crazy over there, but have you rebooted the Wi-Fi router? He's like, oh, man, I can't.
yeah, that was pretty good. And I did get another one that was actually really good. Do you have the other one ready?
Oh,
I
yeah.
sent you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Before you can put it up, but before you start it, I just want to say, if anybody out there remembers the Winamp thing where it would say Winamp, it really whips the llama's ass. So I decided I wanted to get this done. I made one mistake and I wrote the word kick instead of whip. With that said, it did it exactly the way I asked it to. So you can roll it.
Who is it that
Oh, great. It screws up. Are you kidding? Hopefully it works now.
Who is it that
Why? Okay, it's okay. That's lovely. It's not going to work. So I might as well tell you what happened.
Hold on a minute.
We're gonna try to get. Well, see, now it's not. Well, yeah, it's loading.
Oh, whoops.
kick my ass?
Oh, now it works, but there's no sound. Okay.
Who is it that wants to kick my ass?
Yeah. So
Who is it that wants to kick my ass?
basically, if it had said it proper, if I had written it properly, then the llama would have said, "Who is it that wants to whip my ass?" So, and my idea was to actually play the Winamp audio first, and then have the llama come in and say, "Who is it that wants to whip my ass?" So it did get it right. And here's the thing about it is it's hit and miss when you do animals, because sometimes it'll do cartoony or do it like it's a Pixar video or something. Like I asked it to have cats standing upright wearing human clothing and just going about their daily lives in a bustling downtown core, except that some of them are talking, but everything they say is meow, right? And it basically had the cats meowing in sequence, but they were Pixar like cats, right, kind of thing. But it was honestly the funniest thing I've ever seen. Meow, 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 meow. They even had a hot dog stand run by, or some kind of vendor, anyways, run by another cat. You know.
Yeah, that's funny.
So it kind of, it goes off further from what you're trying to get it to do. It refuses to do some things because political reasons, maybe. I don't know. Well, in some cases, yes. I tried to do one and use the Trump name, but not Donald Trump himself. And it refused because it sees it as a political thing and automatically says no. I can't say anything about Trudeau, Marcon, Trump,
Well, and you
Merkel.
remember the sheeple video I made back when we were making fun of the.
Yeah, I don't know how you got it to do that.
Well, the prompt was very simple, so it created that, I guess, knowing what I was after. But my first prompt included the word, as I said, an Apple I/O keynote event or an Apple keynote event, and I couldn't
Apple
use.
I/O?
Yeah, I couldn't use Apple. I just had to say at a keynote event.
Oh, at a keynote event.
Yeah, because when I used the word Apple capitalized, it knew that I was talking about Apple the company,
Now,
and it wouldn't
am I
let me do that.
imagining it, or did when it started, it was people sitting in those chairs, and as they stood up, they turned into sheep? Did they not?
Yes.
So you didn't tell it to do it that way.
No.
So
And
it did understand you were talking about Apple, but since you didn't mention Apple, it made them people turning into sheep.
Yes.
Well, I wish I had thought of that, man. That's awesome.
But I didn't tell it to do that. So I don't.
But you know what I mean. I wish I'd thought of the concept at all. Is what I'm saying.
Maybe because I wonder if I still have that.
Well, God, I hope so. You can't get rid of that. That's gold. Are you kidding? The sheeple standing up. Wow.
I don't know. I might have gotten rid of it.
Are you kidding? No, you still have it in Gemini.
Well, no, I still have it there. I'm saying I don't have it
Yeah.
stored in Google
okay.
Photos.
All right, fair enough. Right. As long as you can get it back, because that's the important part. You want to make sure that your sheeple video is always available for laughing.
Well, and then
at
of course,
all times.
yeah, and then of course we have this stuff here. This stuff here cracks me up. And I know you don't have TikTok, but this shit is funny, and it's almost worth getting just for this shit.
I got something in my eye just thinking about TikTok.
There's all these people doing these videos.
Oh yes,
listen,
right.
Listen.
Today's prank, I snuck dynamite into these knuckleheads' firewood. Stand back, mates.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
All right. Bit more than I expected. Still funny though.
I love the Australian accent for that.
Yes.
That, by the way, works out
Yes.
better. I did send you the one I did where I tried to do.
Yeah, I didn't download. I mean, I can, but I have to. I'd have to
it's a big,
upload it.
it was big. I said Bigfoot, but it made a gorilla. And so one of them was I can't remember what it was, but it ended up being a gorilla, and it was kind of funny. But the other one was supposed to be Bigfoot, and it did kind of look like Bigfoot, but he called himself Sasquatch, but he called himself Squatch. He's he's walking down the street and he's like holding the camera and doing the selfie thing for like a vlog. A street vlog.
Yeah.
And he says, Squatch here. He says, your boy Squatch here. And today we're just gonna be talking about the burbs. Yeah. He's walking around in his neighborhood. It's okay.
I can't remember. Enough. I can't remember if I shared this with you. This is yes, I did, because you said you had to listen to it twice to figure it out. And we'll see if our viewers can figure it out.
Oh, yeah.
Would you like some headphones? Obvious.
How did you know my name was Phones?
How did you know my name was Phones?
Oh my God. There's so much shit like that on TikTok. There's times I'll just sit and watch it, and I'll be like rolling for like 30 minutes because it's so funny. Between the gorilla ones, and then now there's one circulating too, where there's this old lady that's always baking things, and
when you first sent me that, I was like, okay, this is pretty good. Is this VO3 or something? It looks pretty damn good, and then I was like, oh, wait a minute now.
You're like, wait.
As I watched it a second time, it's like, okay, like some headphones. How'd you know my name was Phones?
And her facial expression, she goes, "Oh, like you're so funny, old man." Oh my gosh!
Oh my God! If I ever said that to someone, I'd probably get smacked.
Oh yeah, you have to be old like that guy. Yeah, I mean, once you get past like 75, 80, you can pretty much say and do whatever you want.
Yeah, well, maybe. I guess it depends, but depends. There you go.
Oh man!
Oh man!
Yeah, AI. Again, there's so much. Guys, there's so many things about it like this that it's like some things are just purely comedic fun, and they're just funny as hell.
Getting a leg cramp, if you can believe.
Yeah. And then you have other things where people are making, like I watched a video and they were trying to pose it as like it was being real.
Right, yeah.
And it was and the beach scene looked really nice. The people were walking around, the cars looked real, but it was about a tsunami wave that was crashing in, right? And at first glance, you're like, whoa, because it almost looks real. Because the wave wasn't like so out of proportion that it was like, oh, yeah, that's fake.
Yeah.
But then you look at it, you're like, wait a minute, there's water spraying out of this car's window before the water even gets there. You're like, okay, come on. But they're trying to make it like it's real. Like, oh my gosh, it's like, come on. I mean, those kind of things there irritate me because it's like, and people watch it, they click on it, but it's just like, come on. I mean, this is dumb.
I feel now again, and by the way, it's these technical glitches that we have mentioned before. I can't seem to actually play anything from my computer without it freezing my picture. So I have to send Robert anything that I want him to show. So I'm going to very quickly go into here and share with you. I think both of these ended up being garbage, so I'm just going to share them both. I don't know how. Why is it not giving me the option? Do I have to do one at a time? Oh, you know what? I'm doing it the wrong way. That might explain it. Maybe I should reset
user error.
Maybe I should reset the Wi-Fi router. Oh boy. Yeah, this was much easier. Okay, there's one of them, and there's the other one. Yeah, I can't remember exactly. Oh yeah, I remember exactly what the problem was. So once you get him and you have him ready to play, I'll explain. Like, put it up first, and so I can see what it looks like, and then I can explain what it was supposed to do before you play it. Excuse me.
All right,
Need some water.
I gotta move them up here. Yeah, so these things are just like, some of the stuff is just so funny, and it's. I don't know. Again, it's with everything. There's good, there's bad. It's junk in, junk out. It's And listen. One of the ones that we're going to show you in a minute. I actually went through Gemini and asked it to help me do a prompt so that I could avoid all the stupid mistakes that it might make and actually get the right people to speak at the right time and say the lines that I prompted them to say. So Gemini went through this whole script thing. I told it to change this, to leave that the way it was, to format it right. Finally got it right, agreed on it, copied, pasted, made it, and, well, you're about to see the results. Yeah.
And then when I tried to correct it,
I don't know which one is the correction and which one is not. One of them has black bars on top and bottom, like it did a wider screen version.
I can't remember, but I do know the one that has a second ship in it is the second video.
Okay. So this is the first one here.
Okay, don't want dead air in case somebody's only listening.
Okay, so here we go. So this is the first one you did here, right?
Yeah, that'll be the first one. So let me explain this. You see, the guy has a microphone. That doesn't seem that abnormal considering radio existed in the time of the Titanic. But interestingly enough, that microphone didn't exist at the time. And so what my prompt was that this interviewer was interviewing people on the sinking Titanic about why are they refusing to leave, and they're saying, well, we don't really think there's going to be a problem, we're going to stick it out, kind of like your average Floridian during a hurricane.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the joke here. No, I've set it up. Let's watch.
And I also realized too, there's water like puddling on the deck, which it's still upright, so there wouldn't be water puddling on the deck either.
Well, no, yes, there would be, because it's called spray. The ship should be technically listing right now, but the camera angle would be wrong.
Well, that's what I'm saying. According to the camera angle, that's not going to be accurate. But whatever, let's play it.
Madam, the ship is sinking. Why aren't you getting on a lifeboat?
Oh, I'm quite all right, dear. I believe we'll be just fine.
We're sticking it out. It'll all be okay.
Madam, the ship is sinking.
I'll say
Why
now the
aren't you
water
getting on
comes
a
over the edge.
lifeboat?
Oh, I'm
It's
quite
like
right.
Never
it's like
mind
way
that.
above water.
Wait, stop.
We're sticking
Pay
it out.
attention to who's saying what.
And also pay attention to these people
No,
over
wait,
here.
no, forget that. Play it
No.
and pay attention to who's saying what right now.
Madam, the ship is sinking. Why aren't you getting on a lifeboat?
Oh, I'm quite all right, dear. I believe we'll be just fine.
We're sticking it out. It'll all be okay.
Madam, the ship is sinking. Why aren't you getting
Yeah,
on a...
I got who's saying what. He's saying his lines, and he said his lines.
No, the interviewer, the woman is saying the interviewer's lines, and the interviewer is saying the woman's lines. The only guy who's got it right is the husband. Everything else is wrong. And as for that water, the ship is listing. You're looking at it at an angle where the behind them, the ship is actually lower to the
but
to
look
the
at
water.
them on the
lifeboat?
railing.
quite
They're
all
just
right, dear.
standing
I
there.
believe we'll be just
What?
Well, yeah.
We're sticking it out.
Okay,
It'll all be okay.
Yeah.
Come on.
Madam, the ship is
What?
sinking. Why aren't you getting...
Yeah, it's not.
And why is the
yeah.
lifeboat going up?
Right.
Did the lifeboat just go up?
Oh, I need to stop sharing that and then get the other one.
Okay. Oh, you missed the other one.
No, I said I'm getting the other one.
Oh. Yeah. So of course I was like, well, it got it wrong. So I told her to get it right. Now, before we say this, it changed the interviewer to a woman. That's fine. It's a little unorthodox for the time period, but whatever. Why is there a second ship sinking beside the ship that's not sinking?
I think it's trying to maybe depict the ship after already broke in half, but by that time, there's nobody standing on the deck.
Yeah. In this case, pay very close attention to what's not said. Okay, go ahead.
Madam, a minor inconvenience, really. These things happen. The service on this ship, however, remains impeccable. Madam, a minor
She doesn't say a
inconvenience,
damn
really.
word.
These things happen.
Right.
So
The
what the
service
hell
on
is
this
it
ship,
about?
however, remains
There's no
impeccable.
context whatsoever. Well, look at that chick
Madam,
behind.
a
She's
minor
staring at the camera.
inconvenience, really.
Oh my
These
God,
things
I never
happen.
noticed that
The
before.
service on this ship,
Yeah.
however, remains
What are they all freaking out about back there? They're pointing at
a minor
something.
inconvenience.
I know,
really.
it's
These things
weird.
happen.
They're looking at the
service on
camera.
this ship, however, remains.
Oh no, she's pointing behind him. And she's
Well, I
looking
think they're
directly
pointing
the
at
camera.
something in the water is what they're trying to portray.
Yeah, I know, but why? If the ship is sinking, why are you pointing to the wall? Look over there. It's another lifeboat. Get in it, stupid. Yeah, so basically for having a great llama video, a pretty darn good Noah video, a couple of them, the concept of the Titanic. By the way, some people did get it right, except they didn't went in the other direction. This is where I got the idea. Somebody did a bunch of them, interviewing people about why they wanted to get on the Titanic and if they felt it was safe or something like that, right? And so Mike, I thought, well, why don't you interview people who refuse to leave the Titanic as if they were, waiting out a hurricane. I wanted to get even more complicated and have somebody boarding up their what do you call it? Their what are the rooms called in ships again?
Staterooms? Is it a stateroom?
Berths or something? Is it berth or stateroom? It depends on how much money you have. Or are you staying in first class or steerage? Steerage, it's a berth. It's okay. I'm not even. I'll sleep on the floor. But yeah, but that would have been funny having somebody board up their stateroom.
Yeah. Basically sealing their coffin.
taping the round
so the water
window
doesn't get in. Yeah.
Maybe I should have made one where the captain is the first one to jump in the lifeboat.
Yeah, kind of like that. The cruise liner.
Yeah, well, it started with an M or something, didn't it?
Yeah, it ran aground in Italy. I believe it was Italy.
Yeah, Italy.
And
something.
Yeah,
like that.
and he decided like, oh, forget these people. I'm getting on the lifeboat. And like everyone's there, and the people on shore are like, what are you doing? He's like, well, I'm getting off. He's like, no, you're not. You're gonna go back.
They have radio of the guy saying, "Get back on the boat." You were
Yes.
ordered to get back on the boat. That guy's just total chicken shit. That thing didn't sink for another 3 hours. What the hell?
Well, and it never fully sank.
No, a lot of people did die, but he
Well,
never
yeah,
had to
lots of
leave
people
the
died.
ship. And how the hell? I mean, he ran the thing aground, and he thought it was going to sink all the way. But what are you, nuts? Nobody said you had to go to the lower decks and wait to die. You're just not allowed to get off the damn ship until everyone else does. It's a simple thing. That's like a pilot saying, "Oh shit, we're going down. You guys are on your own."
Yeah.
What the fuck? I mean, right?
Yeah. That was nuts. I watched a whole series on that on like Discovery Channel or something. It was really kind of like, wow, that's amazing that dude did that. And
and we boy did we go off topic on this one.
yeah, well,
It is
one
what
thing.
it is.
One thing leads to another, but
It does. It does. I'm going to say again, as I mentioned before, we are going to be making some changes. We're still in the planning stages, early planning. This is an alpha more than it's a beta. And you're not really seeing much of it yet. But there are going to be some changes being done. And so we're going to have probably a little bit more exciting content within our podcast. I'm hoping we're going to have more guest hosts as well as guests, interviewees,
hopefully
in the future, because we've had some really good times. We've had a lot of fun at the few times we've done that. Well, actually, more than a few now. Because we had your son on the one time too.
Had my son. We've had Taco on a couple times. We had Kenny on once. We had our guest from Utah. He's got his Utah.
Yes. Oh, that was when you went to the hotel.
No, that was a different one. Remember the guy from Utah has got his family adventure vlog.
Oh yeah, right.
He's retired.
I'm mixing up the two different ones. Which one was the hotel?
The hotel was his name is Ed Oyama, and I met him through the VRA Academy stuff.
Yeah.
Cool
I still got to get a guest on my end, but I'd probably have to take my stuff and go somewhere else to do it because.
Well, you said you were going to try to get your dad on because he's got some pretty cool stories.
For that, yes, I would definitely like to do that, but I got to check with his side of it when it works for him because he has to have the right timing for.
Well, sure.
But believe it or not, my boss, and I think she was being serious, to be honest. So we have to find the topic that would work for her. But you know what? We're in warehousing and logistics and stuff, right? So maybe there's something in there, talking about logistics between the United States and Canada, and getting the perspective of somebody who's been in the business for a long, long time.
Well, and you obviously use technology to have all those logistics. So
and
it
would be interesting if she has an iPhone and brings golden shadow or whatever the hell they call it.
It's funny you mentioned that. So it reminds me.
Is that what it's called?
No. So I wanted to talk about real quick the T1 Trump mobile phone.
Oh my god.
That's $500.
Oh.
Okay. This gold piece of whatever. Actually, the specs on it don't look too bad, but there's so many people who are like, yeah, how are you going to make a phone that cheap with those specs? I'm talking about just clear specs. It's like a 6.5, 120 hertz. It's got 12 gigs of RAM.
Wait, where does it say 120 hertz?
I read the stats on it. I went to the website.
I read 60. So is it on their site or somebody else's site?
I went to the old Trumpster site.
Oh, okay. I got misinformation then.
But I mean, the specs aren't bad. But for $500, it's like, for $500, that's a pretty good spec phone. Yeah, best phone ever. Best phone ever. Most awesome cell signal you'll ever have. So clear.
And the screen, we're not telling you what it is.
Yeah,
we'll tell you everything else, but we're not going to tell you the screen.
How much do you think the service is a month?
$47 or something. No, wait. 47.45.
Yeah. Okay. So you already know. So do you know why that is?
Because 47 and 45.
Of what?
President of the United States.
Right.
47th president, 45th.
I didn't know how much it was until when I was looking at the phone. I'm like, why is it $47.45? And then I was like, oh, again, it's all about him. He's so
people will
egotistical.
buy it just because it's a Trump phone and so it's got to be the best. I mean, there's people that are probably still trying to buy steak.
You know,
do I have to bring the steak up?
If I had $500 I just wanted to burn and flush down the toilet, I would pre-order that damn phone because it only takes $100 deposit to pre-order the phone.
Mm-hmm.
I would do that just to get the damn phone in my hands, just so I could actually see it.
Do you still get charged if you decide to send it back?
That I have no idea.
Because I am thinking a little review.
Oh yeah, I mean yeah, but you have to
interesting.
You have to actually buy the phone. Like I don't know that I want to burn $500.
Well, no. Who said anything about burning? Get your money back.
I don't know that you can. I don't know.
So you don't have laws in the United States that?
No, I mean that's up to that's.
I can buy a Pixel right now and get my money back tomorrow.
That's because Google allows you to do that. If Google said no, there's no return.
Law in Canada. You cannot sell someone a physical object other than underwear and take it back. I mean, things like underwear and deodorant, if it's open, are obviously
there's
not
companies that have a no return policy. So I mean, it doesn't mean you get it.
Use shit, Dollarama, dollar stores.
No,
right?
no.
I'm serious, dude. I mean, brand new things like cellular phones in Canada. You cannot sell a cellular phone and not offer a money back guarantee within a certain time frame. It's just a must. Now, they do have caveats. If a certain amount of usage has been recorded on that phone, they can then turn it down and deem it as overused to be returned for full price. But the interesting thing is you could sell it for almost full price anyways if it's brand bloody new.
So here it is. See right here, 120 hertz refresh rate, 50 megapixel main camera, 5,000 milliamp battery.
I'm not seeing this 120 hertz that you're. Oh, there it is.
Right here. 6.8. I mean, it's actually really
look at the rest of the cameras
specs.
though. Look at the rest of the cameras.
Oh, I know. It's like an iPhone.
No, it's worse than an iPhone. Look at the rest of the cameras. You're only seeing the 50 megapixel main camera.
Oh no, yeah,
and that doesn't even mean it's a good camera.
Yeah, it's 2 megapixel.
Depth
macro
sensor,
lens.
a 2 megapixel freaking depth sensor,
16 megapixel selfie camera.
2 megapixel macro lens. How the hell is it? What are you macroing at 2 megapixels?
I don't know. The selfie camera is actually higher than most. Most are 12, but
not mine.
5,000 milliamp battery, Android 15. So I mean, for $500, if this was not a Trump phone, and you were to look at these specs and you go, oh, that wouldn't be bad for $500.
First of all, 20-watt charging. Come on. That's 5 years old, for God's sake. Dude, how do you have only 20 watts?
I could care less about that. My point is...
That's wired charging, dude.
There are phones more than this that have worse specs. I was just looking at a Motorola phone today that was over $500.
Look in that range.
That is worse specs than this right here.
Look up the budget model of a Pixel right now, and also look up.
That's not my point. I understand that.
I'm serious. If you're going to compare it like that, go to that and look at that up, and also look up the Samsung. What is it called? The S24 SE or FE or whatever it's called.
I don't know.
You check those out. Right in the same price range. Far superior devices.
I'm not
far superior.
Okay, you're missing the whole point, but whatever. So my point is, yes, you are missing the whole point. So here is the plan. It doesn't say anything about whether you get your money back on the other. It doesn't say anything whether when you buy the phone, if you have to actually buy the service when you buy the phone. It doesn't really say. It just says pre-order the phone.
I'll bet you anything that if you get that phone and get that service and you go back and say, I don't like this, it doesn't work, Trump himself would come down to the store, walk out of the office and
here's a fact page. Let's see.
No. No way we're giving you your money back. You're obviously a Democrat. I don't want to hear it.
So this
Next.
is just on the service. This isn't on the phone. So
47 plan. You didn't see that?
yeah, I'm saying I'm trying to figure out like if they make you like if you have to like keep the phone. It doesn't say. All this fax stuff is about.
Hey, wait, go down there. Oh God, where was it now? Phones. Does it have more? Is there more than one phone on this?
No,
It's literally just their phone.
Just this one phone.
Yeah, there's something about that phone that it's just a little off. There's no way that's made in America.
Well, that's what everyone says. It looks like a Chinese phone.
Yeah, it's not made in America. There's no way. I mean, maybe they order the parts and assemble it in America.
I wonder what's that.
You know?
What's that Freedom phone? Remember we were looking at that one that was actually made in America that was like $9,000 for a phone that was like.
Anybody want to get an Escobar phone?
Yeah, Freedom phone. So specs.
What you got? 'Cause some people are listening and not watching.
64. I'm trying to figure it out here. So, 64 meg storage, NFC. Yes. 13 megapixel rear camera.
Oh my God. What?
4,000 milliamp battery, 4 gigs of RAM.
4 gigs of RAM.
It's a 1.8 CPU. Doesn't say what type of CPU.
Yeah, but keep in mind that's, if I'm not mistaken, that's the phone.
And it's $500.
But keep in mind that's the phone that I think they were saying is not tied to anything. You don't have to sign into anything. It doesn't track you. Blah 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 blah. Is that correct?
I guess so. I don't know.
So that's the reason it doesn't have anything at all, because they don't give a rat's ass about it. They just figure that people who are scared of their own damn shadows are going to get this phone. If you have zero convenience, you don't need the damn phone. There's a freaking payphone. There may not be as many as there used to be, but there's a payphone somewhere, right?
I thought there was one that was like really expensive. I don't know. Anyways, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, we have a wireless code of conduct in Canada. And part of it in that states that by law, all phones and services even have to be refundable within a certain amount of time in the entire country. So anyone out there that wants to laugh at Canada not having this, we are protected as consumers relatively well. I'd say relatively. Do we have a perfect way of? No, of course not. There's a number of things about America that it would be nice if we adopted in Canada. And there's a few things about Canadian culture I wish Americans would adopt.
Yeah.
That would make America better. You could even make America great one day if you didn't try to make America great again. But that's another story altogether. Well, actually, no, it is the story. That's what we're talking about, right? Oh, no. There's the dang leg cramp again. That's twice
so
today.
Ridiculous.
Right
It doesn't.
What's that?
Yeah, I'm trying to find if it's because I'm so tempted, but I just don't want to waste $500 if I can't, because it's not even like worth me keeping as like a second
I understand.
phone.
I understand. Don't do it. Don't do it. See if you can find out if someone else has got their hands on it that has a lot more money. Doesn't mind lending it to you, but put your ear to the ground. See if someone's willing, to do their own little review, and then maybe lend it to you to check it out yourself. There lots of content creators do stuff like that sometimes.
He says if you buy a T1 smartphone today, and yes, you can pre-order, what shows up at your house will almost certainly not be what is shown on the site. Oh, that's funny.
Okay, so basically don't. You have no idea what you're going to get. No.
Yeah, it
Absolutely
says
not.
in practice, though, that seems unlikely. We're only aware of one smartphone that advertises itself as a wholly U.S. manufacturer, the Liberty phone. Oh, the Liberty phone. That's the one. That's the one that costs $2,000.
Right.
And it's a complete piece of garbage.
Yes.
And it's the only phone that is manufactured solely 100% in the United States.
But
and
still,
it costs
did all the parts
$2,000
come from the States? Where did they get the chip from? Because there's only 3 chip manufacturers in the world, and 2 of them are the same damn company.
Yeah, I don't
no, it's
know.
not true. But still, there's not very many chip companies. Not that make chips for a phone. And there's no way it's a TS. Oh God, I can't even say it. TSMC chip. It's definitely not going to be a Qualcomm chip.
No, because that's definitely not made in the United States for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's kind of like, you know how now that there's actual manufacturing facilities for Toyota and Hyundai, and that they could actually claim that it's made in U.S. because like 70% of the parts and it's assembled here or something like that.
It's like if you buy a certain types of Ford trucks, they're actually made in Canada, not in the U.S.
Right. Well,
and
my car was assembled in Hermosa, Mexico.
Well, there you go. Right.
But anyway, so yeah,
if you bought it today, it'd cost you twice as much.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's a stupid phone.
Yeah, 2000. And yes, by the way, the iPhone would cost a lot more if they were forced to make it in the U.S. There's just no way.
It's. I mean, U.S. manufacturing would have such a long period of time to spool up to where they could even do anything that might even be remotely affordable because everything's been pushed overseas. But despite that, the cost of labor is so much higher.
They would have to
overseas.
buy out half of the bloody workers that work, at one of the overseas places, anyways, and then you're defeating the purpose of bringing jobs to Americans. Because there's no way. What are you going to train Americans to do something they've never done ever and expect them to put quality? I mean, you know how hard it is to make chips?
Okay, but let's say you did that. Let's say you hired an entire plant of Chinese workers and you brought them to the U.S. to make American products. Those Chinese workers are now going to have American wages in order to even live because of the cost of living.
Of course.
And everything else
The problem is that they would be deemed as illegal aliens and arrested by ICE almost immediately. None of it makes any sense.
Not if they had a Trump card.
We have to train everybody to do something that they don't know how to do here at all. So now while you're saying we're taking all these jobs away and we're not going to do this anymore, you're basically saying to another country, you're going to allow us to send a bunch of people over there to train for 5 years so they can be good enough that we can bring them home now and take all your business away from you. What the fuck is wrong with it? Oh, sorry. Bleep that out.
We don't bleep on this channel.
Well, okay, then don't bleep it.
I'm not bleeping it.
I just like if.
Well, anyways,
Crazy
look,
man.
we are hour and 13 minutes. Time to wrap it up.
Oh wow, is it really? Okay.
Yeah, so we got on the Trump train.
Oh yeah, that's what happens.
But I wanted to bring that up because I thought it was so hideous and so ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's insane. We'll see. It's supposed to be shipping in September, so we still have a little bit of time before it's even.
Well, by then
I'll
likely be giving you all the deets on the Pixel 10 Pro XL, unless they change the name. But otherwise, yeah. And by then, if I don't have it on this phone by then, I will have it on the Pixel 10 Pro XL, and that is the Material 3 Express.
And maybe I'll have liquid wrench on the iPhone.
Yeah. And you know what, though? You know what you might actually get lucky enough to have by then, maybe, is One UI
8.
8, yes.
which is
that
15,
might be true.
and
So you
which
might
is
be able
Android
to
16.
see the
Yep.
impressive, whatever it's called, Material 3. Maybe it will be impressive. Who knows?
Who knows?
I think Samsung will add their own flair to it. So you'll get the expressive, but they'll have their own little flair to it. So you'll probably like that a lot. And hopefully be able to also show off the glassy
Yep.
eye, whatever
We'll
it's called.
see. We shall see.
Liquid
So,
glass. Is that what it's called? Liquid glass?
I don't know what
Clear
it is.
liquids?
Liquid something. I
Clear
don't know.
fluids. It hurts when I pee. I don't know what it's called. Let's just get out of here now. Close
Yes.
us out. I'm Lionel from Toronto, Canada.
I am Robert from Nashville, Tennessee, and we will see you. Oh, I almost forgot. We won't see you next week. I am on vacation.
Oh, that's right.
I'm going
Yes.
to Disney, so I'll be wearing some Mickey ears with the grandkids, and so we'll see you in 2 weeks, and hopefully we get some stuff together.
Yeah,
and we'll be more.
You
we'll be more
gotta
ready.
you gotta do a quick Hi from Disneyland video that we can play 2 weeks from now.
Hi from Disneyland.
I'm not kidding.
Okay,
Dead
we'll
serious.
see. Anyways,
All right.
I'm Mickey from Nashville, and we have Mouse from Toronto, and we'll see you next time. Peace.